Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about all the books that I have purchased in February and any that I bought maybe in January that I hadn't hauled yet. So the first book is Sadie by Courtney Summers. Everyone has been reading and loving this. This follows a true crime podcast and Sadie, whose sister was murdered, and she is out for vengeance and out to find her the killer, I think. And I hear that this audiobook is great, so I might listen to it on audiobook. But yeah, everyone's been loving this and say the podcast element is great, and hopefully I'll be listening to this or reading it soon. And then, like the whole world knows, The Wicked King came out recently, which is the sequel to The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. So I had pre-ordered The Wicked King from Amazon, and then I also ordered the Wicked King box from OwlCrate. So I have the OwlCrate exclusive signed edition and then also just the regular edition. So now I have two Wicked Kings. I don't know which one I'm going to keep, but I'll probably sell one of them. Next, I recently went to a library book sale and I found two pretty exciting books. The first one is First Frost by Sarah Addison Allen. This is the sequel to, I think it's called the Waverly Sisters series. The first book was called Garden Spells, and I read it a few years ago. I can't really remember much about it except it follows a woman who has a gift with like this magical garden, and she makes food that has sort of like emotional magical properties. I really want to reread that one, and then I picked up the sequel because I want to see where the story continues. And then I found Special Topics and Calamity Physics by Marisha Pessl. I love the Night Film by her, and this is her first book, I'm pretty sure, and I've seen this a handful of times used, but never in the best condition. So when I saw this one in like near perfect condition, I have no idea what this book is about, but I know it'll be something weird and maybe a little scary if it's anything like the Night Film. So very excited that I found this. And then whenever I was in Ohio, which is my hometown, I went to a Books A Million because I don't have one where I live, and they have a huge bargain section. One of the books I found there is I See You by Claire McIntosh. I loved I Let You Go by Claire McIntosh, so whenever I saw this one for $6, I had to pick it up. And then my Book of the Month Club pick from December, I skipped January and February, so the last Book of the Month Club I got is An Anonymous Girl by Greer Hendricks and Sarah Pekkanen. I did not read their first thriller. I can't remember what it was called now, but I hear this one is just as great. I love thrillers so much, so it's really hard for me to pass up a thriller when Book of the Month has them. And yeah, this was what my pick was. And then recently off of Amazon, this book was only $5, and it is the paperback of Shadow Shaper by Danielle Jose Older. The front says, paint a mural, start a battle, change the world. So it follows a girl who is really into art, and the murals in her neighborhood start weeping real tears, and then she finds this type of magic that I think like invokes like ancestral spirits into art or something like that. Sounds really fun. Art and magic combined. How could that go wrong? Okay, and now I want to move on to all of the Black author books that I've been picking up. In February, I decided to only read Black authors, so now I spend so much time just looking up books by Black authors, trying to find new authors, looking at lists that have like Black authors books that are coming out this year. So I've just been like wanting to invest, wanting to support Black authors, so I've been picking up a bunch of new books. The first one is American Street by Ibi Zoboi. This follows a girl named Fabiola who her and her mother are coming from Haiti to the United States, and her mother gets detained, but Fabiola gets to continue on to her destination where she stays with her aunt and her cousins, and she's going to high school and having her first love. And there's like some other stuff going on that I don't want to say, but there's like a little dash of magic in here, and it's really good. I already read it and I'll talk more about it in my wrap up, but yeah, this is a very good one to pick up if you are interested. Then I picked up How It Went Down by Kekla Magoon. This story follows So at the beginning of the book, a boy is shot and killed in his neighborhood, and there are a whole bunch of witnesses. Someone got out of a car, shot him, and then drove off. And so this is flipping between a whole bunch of characters' perspectives and showing like how they interpret what happened, what their perspective on the situation is. Some people, for example, think that he had a gun. Other people don't. Like, everyone saw things differently, you know, like what happens in real life. All the witnesses to something don't see the same thing. And I've only read about 50 pages so far, but from what I've read, it's really interesting, and I just want to know like what really happened. Next is an anthology that I feel like everyone's been looking forward to, and that is Black Enough: Stories of Being Young and Black in America, edited by E.B. Zeboy. It has a whole bunch of authors on here: Justina Ireland, Danielle Clayton, Kekla Magoon, Jason Reynolds, Nick Stone, Renee Watson. Just so many exciting authors in here. And then one of the lists I was looking at for upcoming Black young adult authors this year was The Weight of the Stars by Kay Ancrum, I think. And the book she's coming out with is like a sci-fi that sounds really cool. But I looked more into her, and she has a previous book that is a psychological thriller, which is so my thing. And I picked up The Wicker King by Kay Ancrum. And this book, first of all, is so pretty. Like, documents, CD with a playlist, like there's a bunch of different types of media in here. And then the book pages go from like light, and then they get darker as you flip through, and then there's like a black page at the end. It's just like an interestingly written book, formatted differently. Yeah, I'm really excited. I just got this one yesterday. But this is about August and Jack, who one of them is a misfit. I think he has like some arson history. And then Jack, who's the golden boy on a varsity rugby team. They have an intense friendship. I think it turns into a relationship later, but Jack is having hallucinations, and August decides to help him by believing him, and they set out on like a quest in Jack's fantasy world that he's hallucinating, or is it real? I'm not sure. And I don't know what the heck happens, but this just seems so interesting. A mesmerizing thriller that questions the space where reality and perception overlap. A spine-tingling read that will have you riveted. An eerie piece of realistic fiction. This just sounds so interesting, and I'm like really hyping it up in my head. Okay, and then I picked up Michelle Obama's Becoming, which is so crazy. It's the 2018 best-selling book of the year, which is crazy because it didn't come out till November and it hit that record. So I'm so excited to read this. I've started listening to it. I got the audiobook because Michelle Obama reads it herself, and I feel like what better way to experience her story than her reading it to you. And yeah, I feel like everyone's reading this, everyone's loving it, so hopefully I'll love it too. And then I also wanted to tell you guys what ebooks I have checked out from my library. I normally wouldn't do a library haul just because I only have them for like 2 or 3 weeks, and I always have way too many that I'm not gonna be able to read. But I wanted to make this kind of also a Black author recommendation video. Not that I've read them all, but just because I know it's a little difficult to find what books are by Black authors. So if you're looking for some, maybe I can tell you some that sound interesting. So the first one I have checked out is one that everyone's raving about. Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. So Black Leopard Red Wolf is being called the African Game of Thrones, which that is some very big shoes to fill. I'm not sure how excited I am to read this. I don't love brutal graphic stuff. I feel like I'm one of the only ones who doesn't enjoy Game of Thrones, books or show. I don't like things that are like that graphic. But I've heard it's amazing and worth it, so I'm gonna try it. Can't make any promises that I can actually read it though, because I'm a baby. And then I also have Land of Shadows by Rachel Housel Hall, which is a detective story. I think there's like 4 books out in the series so far. It's recommended for lovers of the Women's Murder Club, which is me, so I'm super excited to read that. And then I have An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. I'm not sure what this is about, but it is a sci-fi book. My sister and I share library cards so that we can, you know, access multiple libraries, and she checked it out and said it's something she was really looking forward to, so I might give it a try. So yeah, those are all the books that I've purchased recently, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.